6 Fords, 1 Toyota, 2 Dacias, and a Century in the top 10 today. Wow, yesterday was Toyota's day. Today it's a Ford day. Welcome to stage 3 of Dakar 2025. Greetings and salutations, race fans, motorsport lovers, and others. I'm Colin.
I'm Clifford, the biker guy.
The biker guy. It was a day of note today, Clifford.
Yeah, and already on the socials, guys are excited, which means we're going to have an exciting show.
We've got a really exciting show. The top 10 is all over the place. It's, I don't think I've ever seen this before in the top 10 overall, but we'll get there. First, some results. Remember, you can send us your questions, your comments, your queries, or any other comments that you wish. Send it to us on the comments. Clifford will have a look at it, and we'll try and answer it. We've got some follow-ups from yesterday. We will get to you on the two about the parts carrier and the Toyota Gazoo situation. But let's go straight to the results. Ford 1-2. Boom! Take that, sports lovers. Absolutely fantastic result. And then the drive of the day. And we're going to talk to him a little bit later. We spoke to him earlier, and we'll flight that. Guy Botterill, he came from 37th place to start at 37th, ended up 3rd. It was an absolutely fantastic run for him. And then from a South Africa, I mean, if you go through there, you've got Marias and Gutierrez in the Dacias, then Roma and Saints again in the 2 Fords, and Matthew Serradori flying the Century flag. That was a really stunning result. Ekstrom and Krotov in the Fords. And then in 11th place was Romain Dumas in another Ford. And all of those guys, they started the lowest starting position of them in the top 10 was Matthias Ekstrom in 13th place. And Ekstrom was leading it until just after waypoint 3. And then some issues came out. Let's run through the highlights of the South Africans. In 17th place was Sahud Variawa, who was climbing up through the day, had a really strong run, was quite impressive, starting in 17th, or finishing in 17th place. And then Brian Baragwanath was up in 4th place early on, and then had an issue, ended up 32nd place. Don't worry about the place, 36 minutes. Off the place. But while we are talking, Henk Lateghan in 23rd place, and he was at 23 minutes. And if we go to Henk, and if you just have a look around his position over there, you'll see in 24th place overall, Puck Klaasen wins her class. Absolutely fantastic. Becoming the 5th woman, female, to win a stage in Dakar. I think it's absolutely blooming fantastic. Really, really enjoyed that. And then, as I said, we've got Baragwanath, and then Jürgen Schroeder came in 59 minutes, so they all finished. That was absolutely blooming magnificent to watch this race unfold. And then, while we're busy watching the stage and clicking onto the results for the overalls, and you see the mix-up of the overalls. We're going to do the bike positions first of the stage, and then we'll come back and talk about the overalls of the cars, because if you're a Ford fan, you've got to be smiling. It's blooming a good day to be a Ford Raptor fan. But what happened in the bikes, biker boy?
I don't know if I can recreate the excitement that you've just thrown in, because yesterday was KTM's day, and then let me try and recreate this. Boom. Today was Honda.
Honda.
Yeah, Honda. So that was a nice shake-up. I got it completely wrong. But we had Tosha Schareina, the Spaniard, on a Honda, 4 hours, 26 minutes. And then Ricky Brabec and Daniel Sanders, who still leads overall. Luciano Benavides, he came in 4th. Skylar House, 5th. Closest Southern African rider, Ross Branch, 7th place, 10 minutes behind the leader. And then further down, again, another strong ride, Michael Doherty, top 10 overall, with Bradley Cox on the Sherco in 14th, 22 minutes behind. Michael Doherty again winning another stage, making history for him, 3rd win.
Yeah.
So strong Dakar for him. Martin Ventura is 2nd overall, and Preston Campbell, the American, long way back today and overall. I think he's 27 minutes back. So in Rally 2, dogfight between the top two, the South African and the Portuguese chap. But looking good there. But if we look overall and where the leaders stand, Daniel Sanders still leading, but a bit of a shake-up. Edgar Canet, not the best day for him today. He dropped down. He finished in 8th, but drops down to 4th overall. So now, again, we've got a bit of a sandwich. We've got a Honda sandwich with KTM in front, and then the next KTM in 4th. Luciano Benavides 5th. Ross Branch 7th, only 14 minutes behind. Michael Doherty 10th, and Brady Cox 13th. But what this means for me is that Ross Branch is beautifully placed for tomorrow at the start of the marathon stage, because he'll start in 7th. Let the guys go out and explore the terrain, and I think that's a sweet spot for starting tomorrow's marathon stage.
Yeah, we thought in the cars yesterday, we were discussing about the cars and what was going to happen, and NASA was speaking a lot, and it didn't end up being the way that he thought. And that's the beauty of racing. We don't know what's going to happen until it actually happens, and then when it happens, it's blooming absolutely. We're surprised, and we're going to go and have a look at the overalls of the cars now, and just have a look at the big swaths of blue. Ford, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 overall. I don't think that's ever happened in Dakar. If any of you on the socials know if this has happened, please let us know, because I really don't think that it's happened. So we've got Guthrie, Prokop, Ekstrom. Ekstrom is still my outsider for the win, apart from Henk Ladegaan. Saints, Roma, and then first of the Sand Riders, Marias and Gutierrez, Christina Gutierrez. Really good. I think that's her best finish in her stage. And Matthew Serradori and Lucas Menorda in the Century. Really, really happy for Century with all the dramas that they've had with the spares arriving late and containers and logistics being an absolute disaster. Really happy for them. And then impressive in the overall is Sud Variawa. 11 minutes, call it 10:57. Let's give it 11 minutes ahead of NASA. And then Henk Ladegaan 14 minutes behind. And if we go and have a look at today was a day. Well, let's just finish the rest of the overalls from a South African point of view. Guy Botterill is in 17th, 27 minutes, 27 and a half minutes behind. And then Brian Baragwanath in 23rd position, 37 minutes behind. And then Jürgen Schroeder, he is 8 hours and 2 minutes behind with some of the penalties that they've got. It is 8 hours. Yeah, the print is rather small. He's down in 63rd position. And when I say 63rd, and you might see some difference on the overalls on the screen there, it's because that we've got a combination of cars and trucks. And if you see the Challenger, Seaden in 33rd place there, please, Pete, in the first of the Challengers. And then in 36th place, and this is cars, they're all together, in 2nd place in the cars, in the KTM Crossbow, is Buck Claassen in the overall, which I think is really, really fantastic. For those of you who are asking, KTM Crossbow, what is it really all about? Well, it's built on the G-Rally. We've got a couple of pictures of the thing. It's built on the G-Rally existing T3 car, and essentially they've put a body on it, painted it in some different colors, and call it a KTM. So luckily there's not too much orange on it. And these things are really quick. If you see that they overall off the lead an hour 20, a lot quicker than the stock cars. And if we go back, and they kind of look cute. I love the no overhang at the front, and they go like smoke.
Yeah.
1000cc turbo, sequential gearbox, 4-wheel drive, all the groceries. They've now got windscreens and windows, so it's become a proper motor car. In the stock category, Peter Hansel won the stocks for Defender from Bakayusa and then Sarah Price. So it was a 1-2-3 for the Defenders today. And in the overall, it's Bakayusa first and Ronald Basil Landel in the Toyota. In the Land Cruiser. He is he's in second position, and Peter Hansel third, and Sarah Price fourth. So there's our overalls, and now we got the results out of the way. I mean, can you believe it? It was Ford 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you've all the Ford fans, woohoo! We just for you, we found a sound clip. And thank you to Ford. We'll get it from eventually. There's a bit of an issue from getting permission to send it, but it is the finest sounding cross-country vehicle in the history of all the cross-country vehicles. I'll stick to that. They may not, well, they are leading 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to be, but if we go back to just, in the overalls, you go down to 8th position, 9th position, very are we, 11 minutes off, going into the marathon stage, 2 days of massive stuff. But the story of today, really, and yesterday, Ford's had all their troubles with the tires yesterday, and today it turned out to be Toyota's issues with the tires. But we've got 2 clips, one from Brian Baragwanath, which I think I'd really like to play first, and it just gives you an idea of, let's listen to him, and he'll explain better than I can.
So, end of stage 3, today was just a day of survival. The only reason we made it back today, plus 36 from the leader, is thanks to Laya. So, big thanks to Laya for the help today.
Welcome.
she saved us. Without Laya, we would still be out there. This is Seth Quintero. They had to come home on the rim. So yeah, we would have been in a similar situation. We punctured with 250 kilometers still to go. We had already lost both our spares. After that, we really drove slowly, and even while driving slowly, we still lost got our third puncture. So, it was nearly race over today. It was a big hit, but still we count our blessings, and we're lucky to be at the finish line. So. Anyway, on to the next day. Cheers.
It turns out that tires is playing a huge part in the rally, whether it's the tires, the terrain, or a combination of the capability of the vehicle, and there are massive forces that are involved. Let's listen to Henk Lautergan, who's also got something to say about some tires and the influence that they are playing in the event.
Hey guys, okay, so we basically just got back to the bivouac. You see it's getting dark already. It was a really long, really rocky day. The car held up well, but the tires did not. We had 2 punches quite early on. Seth also had a lot of punches, so we caught up to him quite quickly, overtook him, and we were opening. And from there, right after that, we got 2 punches, and then same story as the days before, completely back off. Drive like a Sunday cruise, and just get the car to the end. We had another slow puncher after that, so really stressful. That was before the midway mark. We were already in deep trouble. And then on the open section, on the way back home, we got another puncher, so we had to use some plugs to plug that one, so that we could get home. Limped it into the pits, but really crazy day. The guys from the back were really flying, so tomorrow we have a road position right at the back, so maybe the same will happen to us. We need a clean day. It hasn't been the smoothest start to a Dakar for us. So tomorrow's another one. We'll try and give it everything we got.
It's definitely not been a smooth one. Just going back to the discussion about the tires, and I don't think it's anything to do with the new Michelin tire. I've spoken to a couple of people on site, and the general feeling is that these cars, when the development of the suspension has been unbelievable, and particularly from a springing and a damping point of view. And you've got these massive tires, I think they weigh somewhere 45 odd kilograms each, rotating at relatively high speed. And when they hit something, the level of energy involved is gigantic. And could it be, the question that I ask, and I don't know who can answer it, is could it be that the drivers need to, instead of attacking maximum all the time, they need to back off, conserve tires, and then attack when it's necessary, particularly in the really rocky areas. Going to be a different story when it gets into the dunes and the sand. That's got completely other issues to it. But there are concerns about numbers of tires that teams are using up, and we just got to keep a little bit of an eye on it, particularly going into the marathon stage. It could make a massive difference. But Cliff, you've got, must have some questions.
Plenty. There's a lot of excitement here. Cass Kruger's in, Francois Pretorius, he asked earlier about the tires, but I think you've covered it. Jan Grobler, what a great day, or what a great comeback from Guy. Is there an inherent problem with the tires, or they can be attributed to terrain only? That was the one I was talking about. Evening all, the people waiting for our wise words. That's interesting. Andrew Sparkfish, evening everybody. I'm wondering when or if TGR are going to move up in the rankings, or is it still too early? Strategy. Colin, thoughts there?
Well, you've got first TGR is Sword Variawa in 9th position. And that probably brings us into one of the answers that we wanted to discuss from yesterday. But there are two things I want to do before then, if you will all indulge me. Number one is the finest sounding cross-country vehicle in the history of the world. Just listen to this. There's only one way to describe that. Lekker.
Tomorrow, Fords will be selling off the showroom floor like nobody's business.
Well, that's the business.
Yeah,
business of motorsport. If you want to sell stuff, get involved in motorsport. Yeah. All you financial directors and marketing directors and salespeople who are trying to sell stuff, get involved in motorsport. It's the best thing ever. And then you can say to all the people in the company, hey, let's go and watch our products perform. And motor racing is way better than tennis and rugby and cricket and all those other sports where they need one ball. And motor racing, you need two balls to succeed.
Indeed.
Right.
Cass Kruger, must admit, not a big Ford fan, but they're throwing everything and the kitchen sink at this, which is, I mean, we can see it. Kevin Retief saying, told you Guy would pull a rabbit out of a hat. And then we've got, what's that, Alt 4, can't read. Anyway, Toyota had to open the road today and gave a chance to Ford. So, opening the road is always difficult, but with that kind of dominance, it's, I wouldn't say given to, but yeah. Evan Marburg, let's go Century, the small guys taking on all the big boys, absolutely. And Andrew Sparkfish saying that the time differences are rather light. Kudos to Puck Larson for a stage win in the Challenger. Here we go. What exact mechanicals went wrong for the Defender Sarah Price team yesterday?
It was a combination of a moving vehicle and an immovable object, and they hit a rock and broke the suspension rather badly, and they needed to wait to get a spare part. But no doubt for the marathon section they will have loaded, because there's lots of space in the back of a Defender. You can put a truckload of parts in there. And it might even be, if you're in the stock class, that you walk around the bivouac and offer to carry spares for a whole lot of people for a small fee, of course.
Yeah.
Because going into the marathon stage tomorrow, you're only allowed to accept help from the people in the bivouac, and the bikes and cars have got separate bivouac. But before we go any further on the questions we've got, there's lots of them coming in. Love your stuff. Ask us anything. We can try and answer it. And if we don't know, we'll find out and come back the next day, or we'll forget about it. And if we can't find the answer, and then pretend that it never, ever happened. But what did happen a little bit earlier, because Saudi Arabia is an hour ahead of us, and we spoke with Guy Botterill of his very, very good performance today. Listen to this. Guy Botterill, 3rd overall today from 37th. I've got to rate you as my driver of the day. How are you feeling now?
Thanks, Colin. Yes, it went well. Happy with our position. Started far back, which gives us the benefit of a road. But in a con, the dust was unbelievable, and we managed to come through and have a really and bring back a lot of time from the lead. So happy with today.
You brought back 10 minutes from the position at the end of yesterday to today. But it's still a long rally, and we're going into marathon stage tomorrow. You, with your finish position today, it puts you at the sharp end of opening on the marathon stage with no bikes to follow. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, it's not ideal, but unfortunately, we play the game that we're playing because yesterday we lost so much time. We couldn't take it easy today. So I needed to go, and we knew that if I did go, there'll be a good chance I'll be at the sharp end of the field for the marathon stage. But, Dakar is a funny thing. Anything can happen. Maybe tomorrow's navigation is easier than it is today. And, it's not unheard of someone every now and again doing very well at the sharp end of the field, and all the drama happens behind you. So I'm really hoping that's what happens tomorrow. But realistically, I think we're going to lose a bit of time tomorrow. That's normally what happens. But it is what it is, and at least I'm back in the top 10, which means we get a 3-minute dust cap, so there won't be any dust. And we just have to be very, very on top of the navigation tomorrow and make sure we don't make any mistakes.
And your body, yesterday you took a huge punishment. These cars with the size of the wheels, the forces involved, you have to have power steering. How's your body feeling now on your hands and the blisters?
My hands today took a hammering. My hand is bleeding in the glove today. My shoulder, I've damaged my shoulder yesterday with no power steering. So body's taken a beating. We've got a physio and a chiro here that are trying to fix me, but more worried about my shoulder. But everything else seems to be all right. But yes, these are almost impossible to drive without power steering, with the big wheels, the geometry that it's running, and trying to drive these cars over these big rocks and up mountain passes through Saudi is not even with power steering. So it's very challenging without power steering. And we did around about 200 Ks without steering, which is give up. But we hang in there.
Massive effort. Now, tomorrow you're sleeping in the remote bivouac. Are you allowed to have a physio or chiropractor come and tend to you? Medical grounds?
No outside assistance at all. So it'll just be us by ourselves, driver and navigator. And the other competitors in the field, they can assist us wherever they can. So if I'm carrying spares that Jal or Saud needs, we can help each other. But basically.
And how heavily will you load the cars with spares tomorrow?
Hopefully not too heavy. I don't want my car to be too heavy, but it's important that we have got the right amount of spares. Old now that our car's reliable, we don't need spares. So hopefully we can bring a truck full of tires. I'm in the canteen where everybody is eating, so everyone's watching me here. But yeah,
what's for supper tonight?
I think. Can I show you quickly?
Yeah, that's always interesting to see. We love the setup that you guys at SVR have got. Oh, got to have some rice. Must be chicken. Go back to where you were staying. Okay.
Chicken.
Yeah.
Our chefs, they're cooking for us. Very fortunate that we don't eat at the canteen. There's a lot of people that are and so we're trying to avoid contact with other people, mass gathering, so we try and stay by ourselves and we eat as a team and stay together.
And you've got a lovely rat pack for the Bivouac tomorrow.
Yes, they give, and we have to heat our own meals, and well, it'll be interesting to see what they give us. We're never sure what they give us, but normally it's canned food. Last year it was quite nice actually, but it's quite enjoyable. Stopping in the middle of the desert somewhere, and you're in the stars, you're out there by yourself, and hopefully we don't have any issues, so we don't have to work on the cars late.
Yeah, because it's a Toyota, they're super reliable. Guy, what's the plan for the rest of the race for you guys?
I'm in an unfortunate position where I'm 27 minutes down, so I can't play much strategy. I have to go. Day one and day two, we were trying to be clever and trying to not win a stage or trying to stay, out of the top 3 or top 4, so you got a clean road. But, that strategy's gone out the window a little bit with me. So I'm third on the road tomorrow, no motorbikes on the road, so navigation will be tricky. I'm trying to stay in the top 10 tomorrow. If I can stay in the top 10, I think we've done a fantastic job. And then it's very important that we don't yo-yo. And what they mean by yo-yo is basically you win a stage today and then you lose all your time tomorrow and you start 15th or 20th and you're losing a lot of time. So it's very important to stay 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th every single day. That's where you need to be. But unfortunately, I need to go every day to try and bring back some time.
It's actually quite lovely as a driver when the team strategist and management says, go boy, and you can unleash the beast and have a bit of fun.
Yes, it was enjoyable today. You can let your hair down and go. My dad always says a wounded buffalo is a dangerous thing. I've got wounds all over me, so it went well today. I think if it wasn't for all the dust that we were in early on, the 5 minutes that we were off the pace, I think it would have been doable. But the car's quick, Ariel's great on the notes, and I think we're making a good combination: car, navigation, and driver. And Dakar is a funny thing. It can happen, and hopefully we can just claw back some more time.
Well, Guy, I think you've summed it up there. It's a funny thing, and anything will happen. And we wish you, from the whole of South Africa and Raceday, thank you very much for taking time out to talk to us. And have fun and be super fast. We'll talk to you later. Thanks a lot, hey, Guy. It's been lovely chatting to you.
Thanks, Colin. Thanks so much. Have a great day. Ciao. Bye-bye.
Cheers. Now, on that menu there, Cliff, I'm sure he's going to pack a little takeaway box of cement pills because he's going to need them tomorrow. Guy was busy showing us the sound in Saudi. One would think that they could just put up a few cell phone towers there, but anyway. He sent us a recording of the kitchen and supper. So let's see what the inside of their dining room looks like.
Colin, this is the canteen that I was talking to you from. I thought I'd show you. So inside here we got Mr. Pepe. He's in charge of the kitchen. Can you take us around? Can you show us what it's all about?
Sure. All that part is for eat all the team. There it's like a fridge, all the hot part. Then we have a big window for then the guys see exactly what we make it and what it's inside. Then here you see it's a shipping container. Then we put it, we load from here directly to the truck, and then it's on the truck. And then I show you.
What's for dinner tonight? What have we got for dinner tonight?
Yeah, sorry. Today we make it rice,
we got
white rice. Then it's
butter chicken,
and 2 different vegetables. And also we make different kind of salads. Different kind of salads, and we cook for the guys if he like some.
So like me, every night I have a steak. Yes. And then we got some cool drinks. Can you show us in the kitchen? So we're going to take you around the back. We'll show you in the kitchen. So we're going to go outside. So you can see this is a shipping container. So they pick it up with a truck, and then
This is
thank
our
you.
part.
So
Here
here's
it's for storage.
storage. Yeah.
Then we put there the tables and all it's loaded in that place.
When you're packing up and moving.
Exactly.
Okay.
Then we have here a big freezer. It's a big one.
All the food.
Yeah. Then we have a thing. And then be careful now, all that part is hot. Then we cook it just now, it's in the middle of the service, and then we have our oven there, really nice. And all that part is the fridges.
All the fridges.
All the fridges.
All the
it's there.
fridges.
Then we have all the food ready.
Here's all
for-
the salads. Here's all the salads. I forgot your name. What's your name?
Good. Hi, mate.
Good. And your name?
Hey.
Habib. Good. These guys cook a mean steak. I'll tell you what, really good steak. Francois. Cool. Thank you so much for showing us your kitchen. Thank you. Yeah.
It's a proper blooming kitchen. Now, I've eaten some of Pepe's food in South America.
I'll tell you one thing, it's going to be a brave man to tell Mr. Pepe that you don't like his food, because I reckon that I can give one hell of a peeker.
Absolutely. Yeah, thanks, Guy, for sharing that. I mean, what a kitchen. But these are the kind of things that start making a little bit of a difference. So you don't have to walk, the troops don't have to walk far away from the team to go and get food that may or may not be a little bit dodgy. And they can control diets from all the right kind of, and all the top teams have got their kitchens and got things sorted out there. But you got some stuff for us from the peoples.
I've got Mr. Tommy Booth. Evening, guys. Can you please talk a bit on the swing aspect? Bradley Cox gave a good explanation last year, saying it was all about the prologue. Who have got it right this year, KTM or the others?
Okay, so as I understand it, it's the same thing that Guy was talking about, the yo-yo, where if you don't want to end up running at the front today, and then tomorrow you end up running way back.
Yeah.
So you've got to choose a happy pace for yourself that ends up that over a couple of days you spent a lot less time racing than anybody else. On the bikes, I can't say who's got it right.
Well, looking at it, because I mean, it's a tough one, but we've seen KTM, Honda sort of at the front end, and that's why I said earlier this evening that I feel like Ross has got it right, because he's hovering there around the 7th place. Like, so you don't be caught behind too many slow guys and too much traffic, but chase the faster guys. Let them make the mistakes, and you can sort of capitalize on it. So, yeah, it's all a gamble. You know, you could be following guys, wrong navigation, and then you lumped in with them. Strategy doesn't always pay off, and sometimes your plans change on a whim. So, yeah, tough one. Then Jaco Herbst, hats off to Latergan. Eben Marburg says Brian ran out of tires today. He was flying in the beginning. Yuri Jordan just greeting everyone, and then Yuri Jordan coming back with something that you haven't mentioned, Colin, and I'm surprised by this. It's Alfie Cox's birthday today.
You mean Bradley's dad?
Yeah, that guy, the father of Brad. Yeah.
Well, Bradley's dad, happy birthday to you. I hope you've had your cake and you're able to eat it. How did we forget that? I mean, absolutely.
I mean, every Dakar it's going to happen at some point.
Yeah. Yeah, apparently the 6th of January. But you're talking about the swings and the roundabouts and the yo-yos and all that. We're in day 3. Come on, it's too early.
I know.
Let's just chill out. I mean, if you're a Ford fan, you turn around and say, well, Ford, they've got it all right because you're running 1, 2, 3, 4, and all the Fords are everywhere. And for the first time, there's no Toyota in the top 10 overall at Dakar.
Wow, that's a big one. That's a big one.
But they're lurking just outside of top 10.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. A lot of comments here on the tyres. Eben Marburg, apparently the new BF spec that was released is not holding up.
I just want
reverse
to talk
engineering and backward engineering. And just let me get to the last one here. Ironically, the new spec BF is supposed to be more puncture resistant than last year's model, but seems they're actually worse off. But, I mean, if I look at the terrain, I think...
To make a statement that brave and bold takes a huge amount of known information or great testicular fortitude. And I'm not sure that that is the case. In the testing that everybody did before Dakar, on this current spec of tyres, it was shown that they are stronger. The fact that you now, testing is one thing, racing is another, and the fact that we are seeing what we're seeing, could it be that the drivers are pushing just that little bit extra hard, just that the edge of the envelope? And if you, in order to win this race, you've got to know where that edge of the envelope is and fiddle around about that fine blue line of hero or zero. And if you get it just right, the world comes to you. And if you get it just wrong, the cat has a, that's why cats need duct tape.
Yeah, more on the tyres. Even Mark was saying before start Dakar, Julian from Century mentioned the BFs were going to be a big unknown. Duncan Thursby, proud dad moment. Well done, Matthew Thursby, on engineering the winning car in the stage day, and you guys lead overall. Craig,
And just on that,
Okay.
Duncan's son Matthew is working for Ford, so it's pretty.
that's nice.
Well done,
Yeah.
Matthew. Well done, Duncan. You breed them good. You taught him good. You raised a good boy. That's what fathers should do. Take your kids to racing. Don't let them play on the inside. And to everybody who's involved in motorsport, whenever you go to a motorsport event, grab a kid, preferably with permission. But otherwise, grab a kid.
I was worried where you were
Take
going.
your kids to the racetrack, and let's build the next generation of petrol heads.
Craig Galvin, what a great drive from Guy, and fantastic day for Puck Larson and Tommy Booth. And Puck Larson, Tommy Booth, it's all crammed together. What happens with competitors like the Coronel brothers that break down and come back at night? Do they still get all the waypoints, or just take the quickest to the bivouac?
Yes. Yes and no. In order to not get penalties, you have to go through each of the waypoints in chronological order and get to the finish. If you bail early, then you'll get penalties for not making the waypoint, and you get huge amounts of penalties, but you are allowed to continue the next day. And if you retire from a stage, you don't get to finish the Dakar as a race. You don't go over the podium. But you're allowed to, because people put so much effort and money into it, they're allowed to continue as part of an experience as opposed to actually racing it.
Yeah, still going on a lot with the tires. Guys talking about temperatures, pressures. Looks like everyone was struggling from Voodoo Racing.
Can we go back to the Coronels?
Yes, we can. Sorry.
They finished, is this the overalls? On today's stage, they finished 5 hours behind, and let's just see on the overalls where they are. Just go to the next question, we'll get to you. There they are. They are 9 hours 30 behind. So they did actually get to. Yesterday, they dislodged a wheel on a rock and broke the suspension. So they're same as Sarah Price did the day before. And they had to wait for the truck, repaired the car, and then came in. And so they're 9 hours, 9 and whatever, 157th position in the car category.
Comment from someone we haven't heard from yet, but nice to have them join us again. Jeannie Habig.
Hey, how's it, Jeannie?
Huge drive by Guy Botterill and Oriel Mina today. 37th to 3rd is magnificent. No Colin, not biased, very proud of this crew.
Yeah, Jeannie, absolutely no bias at all. I don't know if I did mention, but in the interview if I had to vote for driver of the day today, without a doubt, Guy Botterill, end of, full stop, moving on. Who's your driver on the bike side?
Ooh, yeah, it's a tough one. Let's go. I mean, it's repetitive, but it is what it is. Michael Doherty. You can't take away 3 wins in minimal stages.
Yeah, I'll go with it.
And still leading out Rally 2, but top 10, overall. So he's taking it to the big boys. So for me, Michael Doherty so far is our shining star. Yeah.
And you guys at home, let us know who your driver or driveress In fact, it doesn't matter with you, boys or girls. Driver of the day or our rider of the day is, and just a brief motivation. Or you can just put a full stop at the end of it, and that's enough motivation.
Yeah, also, I mean, like you said, Puck Larson, 5th woman. That's also a great feat.
And
there.
it's about 18 months since she started racing.
That's incredible.
Terence Marsh took her under his wing, raced here in South Africa a bit with her dad, and it's really cool. South Africa probably runs the finest national or championship, nations champion, cross-country racing championship here. It's rough, it's tough, it's hard. You've got the fastest teams in the world running here, even though Ford don't run here. They came here once and got drilled. And it's a pity Ford South Africa don't put a whole lot of effort into it. But Neil Woolridge Motorsport runs a Fords out of Maritzburg, and they're champions 2 years ago, Toyota champion last year. And this year, I can't wait for the racing to begin again. It's going to be super exciting. What else you got for us
There's some
before we go
comments
to
here.
the next place?
I don't know how you're going to react to this. I'm quite excited to ask. Well, it's just a comment. Andrew Sparkfish, great sounding Ford doesn't make it more reliable. But there's a service plan and a warranty and all sorts from your Ford dealership. Apply for finance now.
They all come with reliable.
That's the thing. Fast is not always reliable, but that's what it is. It's meant to be fast.
Colin Chapman always used to say the car just needs to be fast enough so as you cross the finish line, it can break down.
Exactly.
But these things we're talking about the only thing on any of the top T1 Plus cars that belongs to the manufacturer is maybe a modified light or a badge or a something. I know that on the Toyotas they run the core of the radiator comes as a production part. There is these are prototype or bespoke built racing cars in the ultimate class. They're one of a kind, and the prices range when they start talking in euros of lots and lots and lots of euros, somewhere in the region of 1.2 million euros, allegedly, we are told, for a car that might be leading the Dakar at the moment.
There's a lot of guys, just talking about, Bentley Matafu, Land Rover braking is so cliche, not sure anyone is shocked.
But they're leading their class.
Yeah. Great interview, Colin. Pity about the bad line. And then someone said, surely Starlink is not that expensive, and that gets
You can't
Colin
have a
started
Starlink
and away we go.
in Saudi Arabia. They don't want to make WhatsApp video calls. So we have to use some super stealth technology that relies on a cell phone signal to get out. And yes, you're right, Starlink, we need Starlink. It would just improve everybody's life. It's just that the politicians want to grease their dirty little fingers. And if anybody would like to donate a Starlink to Raceday.tv, we'll make you famous because there's 14 million people that view us every night. And we do magic things, and we can, they will really, a Starlink Mini, absolutely fantastic. I stick it on top of my hat, and off we go and make some absolute magic.
Then just a few comments about the kitchen tour that we took there with Mr. Pepe. That container will draw Eskom dead. The kitchen can take on the Dakar by itself. And then here's quite a big statement, because now we know who he is. Willy Zitzman, yippee, up the Fords. Greetings from Willy Zitzman, the Ford man. But that's what I love about this, because that's just made his week, probably made his year. We're only into early days of Jan.
I tell you, they are sitting in such a strong position at the moment. Although, you go back to NASA in 10th, he's 11 minutes behind on the overall lead. So, it's 11 minutes on day 3. Mm-hmm. And tomorrow I want to talk a little bit about tomorrow and the next day. Because it's almost like Pinky and the Brain when they say, what are we going to do tomorrow? Well, same thing we do every day, try and get to the finish line. Because there's some big swings and roundabouts that can be made. And but if you're a Ford guy, great. Yesterday, if you're a Toyota guy, great. I haven't seen any Dacia guys, no Sand Riders. The Mini guys, I mean, little lonesome, poor little Mini. The little baby Mini, not there, but it's not a Mini, it's freaking huge. Anyway, that's...
Then just scrolling through because a lot of chatter, and that's it's so cool that everyone's getting so excited.
Don't you love our family come together once a year?
This is how I remember Dakar over the last few years because dealing with you is a lot, but these people make it worthwhile. Here's one. Hello, Colin and Clifford. Barry von Germany, in brackets 3-year-old fanboy. Somebody please get these guys a German Schnitz. But here's the main one, and it's highlighted in red here. So Henk is making sure I don't miss this. At Cass Kruger, Didi confirmed this. Colin, I believe the fact that there are no forwards in the top 10 might be incorrect. Overall, Variawa in 9th overall from Jeannie Habig.
Ooh. Dish. So I wasn't going to apologize, but to all the Toyoterists, please accept my deepest apologies for mentioning the Toyota's only 9th and Ford is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's a Ford Raptor and it sounds good and it's cool. And there's 2 Dacias ahead and a Century ahead of a Toyota. Now, I really do dig the Toyotas. I want to talk a little bit about the Toyota thing, but we'll get through this now. Humble apologies, I grovel.
Here's one here that speaks to you. Colin, as an ex-driver, you're 100% correct. If you tell a driver that a tire can take more, you'll hit things even harder. I think drivers need to manage the tires a bit and not hit everything flat. So yeah, I mean, it's a tough way to look at things. You know, like you've got to play it within limits. But what's that 80% rule? Whatever the case is, 70-80%. You can't go flat all the time.
I don't know. The thing is that when these big wheels came out, talking to some of the top drivers, the one who's driven the most Dakar, South African guy that I know is currently lurking on the beach, sadly, was saying that the difference between the small tire and the big tire is on the small tired car, you try and drive around something. With a big tire car, you just drive straight over it. And I don't know whether that's the case. I know that the drivers are hyper aware of the tires, but somebody was saying today they got tires, two tires, I think it was Henk, at about 20-30 k's an hour. So it's the revenge of the rocks.
Look, tire management comes out in any form of motorsport. You know, you've got to manage your tires. It's different terrains, different structures, but it's all part of it. You know, Superbike, same thing, but yeah, it's tough, but the development will always keep progressing, but the terrain will always be tricky. You know, these cars will get faster and faster, and guys will try and go quicker, and that's how it goes.
But I really don't think that it's deficient tires. So I don't have sufficient information to answer that totally accurately at the moment, but it's my opinion that it's a combination of vehicle speed and driver exuberance.
Barry Henderson holding out for Loeb to finish at the top. So there's a prediction.
So is he.
Then, Tommy Booth, Doherty, best ride. The man should get a factory ride. But we saw that not last year, year before with Bradley Cox, you know, Rally 2 rider, and then all of a sudden on the KTM, but didn't get the factory ride because Kinet got it, and it was a bit iffy. But now, Sherco man. So always potential for a smaller company, smaller entries, Sherco, Cove, Husky, whatever the case is, for that man to get some attention, and who knows, maybe next year we see him on a proper factory ride. But yeah, I mean, he's going out there and he's leaving nothing on the table. So absolutely fantastic. So yeah, it's so far so good for him. Kevin Retief is upset that we didn't switch the desk around. You know,
we're
Kevin,
not going to.
You're giving me a complex about my legs because I did legs today, my boy.
Ain't happening. Chicken legs is there. Nobody else has noticed that the sign writers were in today and they did their stuff.
To be honest, I didn't notice either.
Come on.
I was too excited about the catering.
Didn't you smell the new glue that they used to
I could just smell, all I could smell was catering today, so yeah.
We've
got Joseph, 34. Greetings from Costa Rica. Great show. That's super cool. It's nice that we're going international. Francois Bosi Loubser, wonder if the Ford motor in the new Red Bull F1 would be as quick as Doherty for sure. Separate thing. Would be as quick Doherty for riders today. So yeah, I don't know. I think these Fords they're onto something for Dakar. We'll see what they do in Formula One.
Yeah, Formula One has gone a little bit different to the Dakar thing, and nobody knows what's happening in Formula One. And you know, each of the teams has got their PR department writing puff pieces for them and slating everybody else. I mean, apart from Ferrari, we know they're going to be KAK. And even if they had the fastest car, they'll manage to screw it up in the pit stop. It's absolutely super sad that Ferrari just... Anyway.
Let's jump back in here.
It is what it is.
Here's one.
Thanks for bringing my focus back to
I
this.
was getting worried about you because Formula One can put me to sleep, and you were doing just that. So moving on. Here's a big statement. That's why I want to get to it. A few people asking about catering. We'll get to that. Very exciting. But here's a statement. If Ford wins this, we, the Toyota guys, will never hear the end of this.
I did tell you about the Ford that was towing a broken down Toyota on the West Coast.
Yeah, Alexa dreading the backlash. They had Cass Kruger, they had an interview with Price, and he mentioned that visibility out of the cars are atrocious compared to the bikes. So that will definitely contribute to the tire damage issue. Yeah, look, that's
Speaking of that, okay, there's a follow-up, and there are reasons for this. There's a reason for all sorts of things. And I've got some, I didn't end up uploading it. I did all the homework and the research. Unless, Peter, if you can go to the drive, there might be there. It's about seat belts and seats, but maybe let's talk about that tomorrow. We'll prepare that properly and talk about seats and seat belts, because there's the FIA are becoming stricter and stricter on driver safety and all sorts of things. So there's particular rules, and yeah, it's very difficult to see out of those cars, which okay.
Yeah, especially once especially when we've got guys going up dunes and all sorts. I mean, then especially sunlight, that sort of thing. Later on, you see nothing. So yeah, it's a bit tough.
No, but we'll handle the seats and visibility tomorrow, and seat
you
belts.
definitely upset Peter when you threw that bombshell out.
Yeah, well, I did some work, and I thought that I'd just have it as backup, but it doesn't help if you have a spare wheel that's pumped and you leave it at home in the garage.
Yeah, a few comments here about Toyotas and Fords. Craig Galvin, pity the racing is now all about tire management. But isn't that part of racing?
It's always been about tire management. From the very, very first race ever in the history of the world, you have to look after your tires. You can't they're not unbreakable things. You know, it's about engine management. You've got in the old days, before electronic limiters came in, you had to watch your rev counter, and if you buzzed it, the engine broke. It's about using the equipment that you've got to the maximum possibility of its performance envelope, and not stepping over too much. And
here's one that, as I'm looking at it, Henky's highlighting it in red, so also quite an important one, and a nice one. Fahim Veriawa. Saud Veriawa is driving the Dakar beautifully. Calm, calculated, and fast. Top 5 time stage after stage. This is everything about the consistency and class. Keep pushing. This is championship level stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I have no doubt about it. The guy is really, really good. We're going to talk about tomorrow now, and then we'll come back and talk about, there were 2 questions that came, the follow-ups. One was, go straight into it. Let's just talk about tomorrow.
Yeah, let's do that.
Because tomorrow we go onto the marathon. Tomorrow is a 452 kilometer stage. 64 Ks of liaison, 452 racing, and then 14 into the Bivouac. And on that spaghetti that you can see there, essentially we're looking at the yellow line, which is the car line. And you'll see that the orange line, is it orange or red or whatever? Yeah, that orangey line That's the service line. And where the service line crosses the racing line, because the paths do cross, they can have a little bit of a service in the middle of that section, which will be, no doubt, they'd come in there and try and get as many new tires onto the car as possible, and then go off to the refuge, which we used to call the bivouac, the remote refuge. And you'll see that there's the bikes and cars are split. And they will then go and rest and only be able to have... Oh, the other thing is that the bikes and cars follow different routes tomorrow.
Yeah.
So they leave at the start. Bikes go one way, cars go another one. So if we go back to that map, the bikes are the blue line. They're sort of in the same area, and they cross over each other every now and then. So you can imagine the confusion of cars arriving, and navigation is going to be absolutely key on this thing. It's about navigation and tracks and a level of off-piste. And the compass heading is absolutely vital. So navigators are going to have a really, really good day at the office tomorrow and work really hard. And then when they get to the bivouac, there's a whole process, the refuge. There's a process of what goes on. And we've got, this is in the briefing, we've got a couple of things. So you collect some of your equipment, and your luggage is tagged and all the rest of it. And Pete, that slide tells it all. And then you start getting, just now, how's this for supper? 2 main meals, and you get a heater, 1 hot drink, muesli, dessert, energy bar, fruit paste, energy compote, whatever that is, and a titanium spoon. Whoa. I reckon you're going to bring that bloody titanium. To be returned to logistics. Oh, hell, I would have scaled 2 of those. And, because you've got to bring your spoon back because you're going to get the same spoon back at the second, and then you scale it. Yeah, so but there's no showers, there's no baths, there's no whatever, and there is a medical, so, but you're not going to get a massage, and certainly not going to get, did you hear the filter just come down?
I'm so impressed by you right now.
So if you've got blood becoming on the outside of the body, I'm sure that the doctors will stop the flow immediately. So that's the process. And they normally have nice big tents, like a Bedouin tent, proper carpets on the floor and all that sort of stuff. And then you go and have a bit of a kip, and then go and do it all again next week, when we've got our second marathon stage, and then wake up in the morning and then go out on 371 Ks to go back for the, Wednesday, Thursday, to go back just so you've got 1 stage left before Raceday. And that gives you, over the 2 days, 823 Ks of racing. That's going to be tough. It's going to certainly shake things up, and car management, the entire package, not just the tires, it's the clutch and the gearbox. The gearboxes are the new gearboxes from Sadev are pretty blooming strong and bulletproof. Interesting side note on the gearboxes, they've got internal pumps to sort out for the cooling, so that you've got to force feed, and on the new diffs, and that gets us to the difference between the SVR Toyota Gazoo and the Overdrive Toyota Gazoo cars, which, if we've got time tonight, we can address. But, have you got any more questions there?
No, pretty quiet. There was a couple of insults about my chicken legs hanging from nests and whatnot. But other than that, just guys echoing about Saoud's driving, just saying that it's so controlled and driving well. Like you said, tomorrow bikes and cars, different routes. But AI on my side predicts that Sanders comes back with a win, but he starts third tomorrow. I think it might be a little bit more tricky than that. So I'm thinking tomorrow is not a day where you win anything. You've just got to nurse the bike, nurse the tires, and make sure you get through the marathon.
Yeah. Just on that, so they go into the bivouac, and the other rule on the bivouac is that you are not allowed no outside assistance. And so you've got to take, between your team, you've got to take all your stuff, tools, spares, lubricants, coolant, all the stuff except for fuel. You can get fuel at the fuel pump. You can stop at your friendly garage and check or savings it. But the question came up about the parts carrier or water carrier, whatever you want to, different terminology on it. So there would be between the cars definitely drive shafts, wishbones, lower control arm, ball joints, and some other bits and pieces that might be needed, and then radiators, intercoolers, and any other fragile bits and pieces that break on the car, hubs, corners. So if you take a corner off, you can replace that, and all of that stuff weighs a truckload. And if you take a team, and unfortunately, Guy was alluding to it in that interview now, where he's the third of the SVR Gazoo cars. So in traditional terms, he would be nominated as the heavy carrier. So they'd load his car with all the stuff in it, and the Fost car, which at the moment is probably Saud, they would keep him light. And I mean, the difference can be sometimes 50, 60 kilograms of stuff in it, from a fully loaded car to a lightweight special. But you don't want to be caught in the bivouac without spares. So the team would come together and make sure that they've generally got enough spares to hand around and have all the right tools. And one of the interesting things when they're designing these cars is to keep the fasteners and the nuts and bolts and cap screws and all of that, try and keep the sizes to the least variables. So you might need extra bolts as well, so that you have fewer spanners. You obviously also maybe have some spare batteries. And always an extra number 10 and 13 spanner, because those spanners, they go to the places. If they find one day, they'll be able to find where all the socks in the washing machine go. And next to the socks in the washing machine, it's a massive pile, is the biggest pile of 10 and 13 spanners in the history of the world. So that's just on that was the follow-up. The last follow-up we've got, and this will be the last bit, is the two Toyota Gazoo racing teams. Why do we have two? And I'll do my most simple explanation of it. Glyn Hall had Hall Speed, had the contract to run Toyota cross-country program when Mr. Toyota went big global on the Gazoo racing program. And South Africa was the first country outside of Japan that had Gazoo racing, and it was operated by Hall Speed. Glyn sold the business to Shamir Variawa, who has subsequently renamed it to SVR, and the contract was for Toyota Gazoo Racing South Africa continues with SVR. When it was still Hall Speed, they were selling the Toyota Gazoo racing cars into Europe, into Jean-Marc Fortuyn at Overdrive. And Overdrive was also the international operations team for Dakar and some of the other World Championship events for Hall Speed, who were the operators of Toyota Gazoo Racing South Africa. Now, when Hall Speed was sold, you now have SVR, Shamir Variawa Racing, who's established his own European operation and taken Geordie from Overdrive into SVR, and Glyn has gone from Hall Speed into Overdrive. And when it came time to start building cars, the current car is a development of the original Glyn Hall, Michael Jardim, Hall Speed designed and built car. And it came time for the next evolution, the next new car to come, and Overdrive were busy doing that, and they've got designers, Hyundai World Rally team, his name just eludes me at the moment, and they built this new car, and Toyota Japan are heavily involved with the aerodynamics and the design work on it, and that is Toyota Gazoo World Rally Raid Team, W2RC. So you've got some call it the official team versus SVR operating the Gazoo Racing South Africa team. So that's essentially the difference between the two operations. The cars are different, vastly different. And you can see that the European team, the overdrive car, has got the latest version of the Toyota nose, which is up high, so you can at least see what's going on. It can be a half-hour story, or depending on who you talk to, a 6-week story. But that's the nuts and the bolts of it. And if I've got anything wrong, and if I've stood in any people's, if I've offended anybody, and there's some people who feel they haven't been offended, tune in tomorrow. An equal offender opportunity, and we shall offend everybody.
I have a question here from Biker Guy. He says, Colin, how long have you been working as HR manager for Gazoo Racing? Anyway, moving on.
I did work once for Toyota on Dakar.
Never say so.
In South America. But
Okay,
moving on.
last one I've got here. And this is, I mean, it sounds like a straightforward question, but actually not. Do you think the guys would be a bit slower in the stage tomorrow to try and save tires? It's about nursing the car. I'd say like not necessarily nursing tires, because you've got to keep temperatures and all sorts, and the slower you go, you can damage the tires. So it's got to be optimal. Is that the right word, Colin? Would you use optimal?
The speed will be optimized to the terrain and the conditions and the machine underneath us.
Smooth as fast. Yeah, however you want to put it. But yeah, I think there'll be extra care, but you can't be too slow. Otherwise nothing works.
You just have to be faster than the guy who's second.
But yeah, I think just extra care all around. But I think tire management will be a thing, but I don't think it's necessarily going to affect speed. Just maybe how they attack the terrain.
We're in day 3.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's day 4, and then follows day 5. And there's still 9 or however many, 7 more days of racing left on that. We're not even halfway there yet.
Yeah, so let's not do maths. We've seen how tragic that's been. Yeah.
Just chill. Drive it. Get the objective is to bring the car back to the Bivouac on Thursday night. And then the Oaks can fix it and do all the rest. Right, we're catering.
Catering.
Oh, I thought it was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, because this was warm.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was no photo.
It arrived here. It smelled so good. It was snaffled. The art department, the photographer was busy setting up his
and it was gone.
fancy what thing, and the food was gone.
Yeah.
Still no beer has arrived by any of the catering departments. So sadly, we have to wait until we get home to have a beer, which is also a good thing.
I'm surprised your hip has held out this long.
I don't have cramps. Thank you to everybody. I've discovered that drinking bucket loads of water, literally, works. And I feel like a new man, but I can't wait for a beer when I get home. It's going to be fantastic.
What do you rate catering? Where are we going?
We're going to rate it on a scale of, would you like to come back again?
Yeah, I'm going to give it an M for magnificent. It was an M, magnificent. Yeah. Either way.
I'll give it a G for gone.
G for gone, eh?
Yeah. G gone down the neck.
To let you guys know how catering really was, we've had, well, I didn't have this before, but we've had this before on the show in this edition of Dakar, and it didn't really score very high, but somehow we went back to it because it's convenient.
You know, we don't have, our catering department is run by midgets, and they can't carry a whole lot of things. So they come along and they bring us little tiny baby foods, and we grown men that we need proper food. So the midget catering department's about to be fired, and we're taking, there was an offer of some curry, and Peter, I'm sorry I didn't phone back, but I definitely will give you a call on the way home. And anybody else who could be Italian food tomorrow, who knows? It could be nothing.
But also on that note there, before Colin, because we already know now that Colin will be in a disciplinary hearing during this edition of Dakar after that food description. So
you can't say that.
You know. Anything else we've got? I'd like you to be here tomorrow, Colin. Just saying.
Oh, I've just got to... Hold on. Let me just see here. You're talking about disciplinaries. Uh-oh. It's a very short letter. It's written by very short person. It's a short clip.
Oh boy.
Apparently, you're not allowed to say midget. You've got to call them midgets. Midget. On that note.
Yeah, remember your shirt. Remember your shirt. Remember your shirt.
To the technical department, guys who do, they come along and they mic me up every day and give me a rub down on the back. Fantastic. Thank you very much for all your hard work. To you who've watched us, thank you for sticking around so long. I've had a lot of fun. I cannot wait for tomorrow. It's going to be magnificent. And I'm hoping that we can listen to the Ford on play out because it's magic. And who knows, we hope they last till the end because they may not have the reliability that a Mini has because there's only one Mini left. A Mini, did you see what I did with the M's?
Yeah, I'm just gonna pretend like I don't know what's going on and just hope we can get through this, that you'll have a job tomorrow. I'm just saying.
On that note, remember to be kind. And a random act of kindness, just be lekker. And we'll see you tomorrow. You can even be nice to the little people, give them a hand up. Because it's the good thing in life. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.
Finger guns out.